What is going on, guys? We are back playing some more Surviving with Draconic Evolution, and today we're going to be diving into the energy storage that is offered by Draconic Evolution, which is probably the coolest part of the mod and the main reason a lot of people get into the mod in the first place. Now there's a bunch of different tiers. We're going to be setting up a very early tier, but I'm going to go over how you can set up all the tiers, or at least how you can find out about them very easily and how it all works. Now this does get a little bit expensive. Today's setup is only going to cost 1 nether star, luckily, but it does get more and more expensive as you go up the chain. And today we're going to be, doing a bunch of crafting with all the stuff that is in here right now, and going over just how it works, how you can put energy in, pull it out, all that good stuff. So the first thing that we're going to do is grab out basically all this stuff right here. Now this isn't actually used for the crafting itself or the construction of the energy storage, but if you don't already, we're getting a Draconic Evolution information tablet. It just uses some draconium dust, which would be used to make the ingot. But when we get this, it looks pretty darn cool, and when we open it up by right clicking, it lagged for a little bit, but we get this right here. So we click on Draconic Evolution in the tab, and it brings up all this different stuff. Now we're going to go to the energy storage core, and we click on that, and this is probably a relatively, common image that you'll see, because this is what all the different tiers look like. It just gets a little bit bigger as you go. I'm sure this is on a thumbnail of a ton of the videos, including my own right now, but basically this is what the storage looks like. It's pretty darn awesome, and this is going to tell you how to set everything up. So right here we've got the numbers for the actual storage itself. So it goes and starts at 45.5 million RF. Pretty good. Goes all the way up to tier 7, which is listed at 2.14 trillion RF, and then it says that tier 8 is not infinite, but it's the closest thing you are going to get. So hopefully we will get there. We'll be able to test it out and see. But basically this is saying that it is the best mod for energy storage that is out there, and you can get the exact number in a link right here if you want to actually see the number, but it's pretty darn big, so we'll just go with that. Now once we have this, you can click this to go to the setup guide, or you can just click over here on the side and it'll tell you there's 2 different things. You're going to basically have the energy core stabilizers. We're going to be having 4 of these on 4 different sides, and they're going to range from anywhere from 1 to 16 blocks away, and you're going to need more as you go up in the tiers. And then along with that, we're also going to go to the next one, which is a pylon, which is going to allow us to insert and remove energy from the setup itself. And if we look over here, it should have a list of everything you need on the energy core setup general for tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you can see it just gets more and more in terms of the draconium blocks, redstone blocks that you might need, and the stabilizers start increasing. It goes from 4 to 36. And seems to sit at 36, and then you need some awakened draconium for tier 8, and you're always going to need 1 energy core. So upgrading, it's not that bad, but I've been rambling for a while, and we should get into some of the actual crafting now. So because we're going to be making tier 2 to start, we do need some draconium ingots. Obviously tier 1 does not need any, but we're going to need the 6 draconium blocks, 1 for every side of it. If you're wondering, that's kind of how it goes. You basically just surround the core with these. The next thing we're going to be making are going to be the energy core stabilizers. Now we're only ever going to need 4 sides, but it does increase from 4 to 36 as we saw, and we're going to need 4 diamonds for these, because if we go through, we're actually going to need these 16 diamonds, sorry, but we need the draconium cores. Now this right here, all of these blocks are used for draconium cores, so we're going to need 11 total for this build. So I might as well just go through and make all of them right now. So we've got all 11 draconium cores, and then we're going to need to make 4 of these. Now that should be good for the first, I want to say 4 tiers, and then it goes to 36. It might actually only be 3 tiers, but we're not going to worry about that too much just yet. We'll upgrade it in the future. And we're going to go to the energy core stabilizers from the particle generators. Now the next thing that we're going to need, and I guess I should just grab all of this out right here to craft with, is going to be crafting the energy core. Now we're only ever going to need 1 of these, so we get it out, and it requires a wyvern core, which is going to require the nether star, along with 4 draconic cores, and then 4 draconium ingots. So we're only going to be making 1 of those. So this whole setup only ever needs 1 nether star, and then we are going to be making some energy pylons. Now these come in sets of 2, and that makes sense because it puts in through one of them and pulls out through another. So we can set this up, and there we go. So for the most part, we've done all the crafting that we need. I'm trying to think, we have some extra leftover blocks here, but for now we should have all that we need. Have we crafted the energy core yet? Oh, we haven't crafted the energy core. I'm forgetting. Okay, so we made the wyvern core. Now we need to make the energy core, which requires 2 wyvern energy cores, and we can craft these using the redstone blocks. So there we go, 1 and 2, and then we get the energy core. Sorry about that. I forgot that this was a multi-step process, but now we should have everything that we need. It's really not that much to actually put together. It's just a lot to craft with because this stuff is relatively expensive. Obviously, at the point we're at right now, it's not super expensive, but if you're starting out, it is kind of expensive to actually, you know, completely begin with. But what we're going to do is come down here, and of course, this is where our mechanism reactor is. It's producing a ton of power. We actually are just wasting power at this point. It's basically just dissipating because we don't have any storage for it. So we're going to be setting it up over here. Now, this may look like a relatively small spot for this, and I guess it really kind of is. But we're going to be setting it up, and we're going to get it out right into the center, which is going to be right here. And we're going to put down the energy core. I guess right here is a good spot. So we have the energy core down, and of course we get our nice lag when breaking blocks that I don't even know why it happens. But the next thing that we are going to do is pull it out. I guess for now we can put the energy core stabilizers. We can put them where this glowstone is, just because it can go anywhere from 1 to 16 blocks away on the sides, and it might start looking a little bit weird because the ball is going to get bigger in the center. Obviously, as you start putting blocks around this, you're going to need to push them further and further away, but for now, this should be perfectly fine. And then over here, we need to extend this out to right there and then break these blocks. Now, as you saw, when we click on any of these, we're going to get a UI, and it's a tier 1 energy core, and these are all linked to it. And you can see it says stabilizers, valid, core, valid. So we're actually pretty much ready to go right now. So if we were to click activate, there we go. It looks super, super awesome. I love how much like the effects are on this. It looks really futuristic-y, I guess. But once we have it like this, we could be putting RF into this, but we're going to deactivate it. And what we're going to do is we're going to click tier up. So now the core is invalid because it's tier 2. Now we could tier it down if we wanted to, but we're going to tier it up, and then we're going to add on these draconium blocks. And basically what it's going to do is check to see if those blocks are there, and if they are, it'll be valid. If they're not, it will be invalid. Now we can fly up. Oh, we got to get on something to click it on there, to shift click it on there. And now it's like, oh, we can't access the center. Well, you can access all of these and it's perfectly fine. So if we wanted to, we could activate this. And there we go. It's tier 1. It's not even taking into account these blocks here. Or we could deactivate it. I don't know why you'd want it to be a lower tier than you have it built for. But now we can go to tier 2. And if we go to tier 3, invalid, but tier 2, we can click activate. And now it incorporates all of these blocks. And you can see the more blocks you add around the center, the bigger it's going to get. And of course, this helps prevent graphical glitches, because if you've got, you know, a ton of blocks around the center and, you know, it's going all the way out to where this is right now, this will have to be at least 1 block out from that. So it won't do any overlapping. But right now, this is able to store 273 million RF, which should be pretty darn good. So what we can do is keep it activated, and we can throw down an energy pylon. Now, the energy pylons need that block and a block of glass that will go above them. And they can go anywhere within 16 blocks of your energy core. So as far as I'm aware, there's no issue with putting them between walls, anything like that. It just needs to be within 16 blocks to kind of link up to the energy core itself. So what we're going to do is come over here, and we've got our quantum entangloporter, which is getting a bunch of energy from this. And I don't even know if we're using this energy for anything, but this should be where it's pulling it out from. And so what we can do is throw this down right here. Now, as you can see, if we right click on it, or I guess we should throw this down first, but you can see that there is a texture on the block that shows that this is pulling energy in right now. And once we throw this down, this should be able to hook up. So now this is a pylon, and it is getting energy from this to this right now, which is not actually what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift right click on the ball. You can actually just right click on it. You don't need to shift right click. But now you can see orange is giving it out. So this actually should have energy in it right now. And boom, it is instantly filled up. So even though this is a tier 2 energy core, it got filled up really, really fast. Now that's because we did have a fair backup of energy in here, and we can go take a look at what the energy is at right now in here just to kind of get a sense of it. So if we go to, I guess we go to fuel, it's fine. How about heat? Okay, so this one's got a ton of power in it right now. So it's got a gigajoule in there. So this is giving us a ton of power, which means we're definitely going to need to get a bigger energy core setup in here, much higher tier. But for now, you guys should be able to see that. And if we wanted to pull it out, all we do is throw down another pylon. We throw down glass on top of it, and we set it to pull out. And it'll basically act like a close range quantum entanglo porter. Now, another thing you could do that's pretty cool is you can kind of link these up. Now, I don't actually know if you can link these up by putting one here and then one within 16 blocks of this, but you can kind of link them up using a couple of these and using a couple, like, I guess you could use a tier 1 if you really wanted to and space these out a little bit. But for now, we should be fine. If it's in the center of your base, you really shouldn't have any issues with it, or if you have any other way to transport power. But I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I know it was a little bit of a short video, but there are going to be a ton more Draconic Evolution videos coming out, specifically because now most things are updated to 1.10. The reason they were kind of few and far between recently is because until the mod got fully updated, there wasn't even the energy storage upgraded yet. All we had were like the crafting and some of the armor. So now we've got everything to play around with. We should be good. And I also wanted to keep this relatively concise, specifically because a ton of people are going to want to know just how to set this up, and they don't really care, you know, about my videos specifically. They just want the info, which is fine. But yeah, I just finished taking my second final. Physics out of the way, multivariables out of the way. So I got environmental engineering, and then I have organic chemistry, and then I am done. So starting probably Sunday or Monday of this week, there will be out daily videos all the way through Christmas and through the rest of January. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are having a great day. If you found the video entertaining or informative in any way, please feel free to give it a like, as it does help me out a lot, and I will talk to you guys later.